How do you buy games in a country where video game stores don't exist? Well, in Romania, we used to buy them from market stalls, kind of like this one, on compilation CDs like these ones. So if you want to find out more, stick around and listen. During my latest trip to my land of birth back in December of 2021, I picked up my last surviving pirated game CDs as a bit of a nostalgia trip, and then I got the idea, why not share these things with you? I mean, just look at them. I'm sure they might remind some of you of your beginnings with gaming, especially if you come from Eastern Europe like I do and you're around my age. Or it might serve as an interesting exploration of foreign gaming culture for those of you who grew up in the West. So I have a small stack of CD jewel cases here, and they're all generally strategy focused since, well, have you seen the videos on my channel? But I won't go through all of them, at least not yet. We'll just pick one, and as long as I'm picking just one, we'll go with Top Games 1999, because if I'm gonna review a pirated game CD, might as well be one that's called Top Games 1999. It's a basic jewel case. There's super nothing special about it. Once you open it, you'll notice that the cover is just a piece of paper printed on most likely someone's home printer. Unfortunately, this particular cover isn't one of the better ones. It's kind of grainy and you can't really tell anything. It does say Top Games 1999 on it, but it says it in yellow on this not great background. But it does say including Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun, which indeed it was undoubtedly one of the top games in 1999. And as you open it, you just get, it's a plain CD. There's generally nothing written on them. We would sometimes write stuff on them after we bought them, either, our names or what they contain, because, well, just in case they got lost. But you see, this is the first obstacle we have to surmount. I don't have an optical drive in my rig. I kind of went digital exclusive close to a decade ago. So in order to see if this thing still runs, we'll need some older tech. I could use my old laptop, which does have an optics drive. However, it does not have a battery anymore. That one's on me. And also its keyboard stopped working a long time ago. I do have a jury-rigged situation around it, but I'd much not rather use it because it's just too clusterfucky. So instead of this, we'll use my wife's older laptop. So here's my wife's laptop. Hers is still functioning and also has an optical drive. So first things first, let's see if the disk actually runs. Cool, it still works, some 23 years after it was burned. Now what I need to do is to make an image of it so I can then run it on my computer, because her laptop is definitely not set up to record. And now with a freshly imaged disk on my flash drive, I can move on over to my rig and show you what it contains. So these are the contents. There's a WinAce folder, and then we have FIFA All-Stars, Jagged Alliance 2, Street Wars, Tiberian Sun, and Mortier.ace. So now we're approaching the more difficult obstacle, which is me trying to see if any of these games will run on Windows 10. Now keep in mind, these were burned onto this disk 23 years ago for whatever OS was going back then. I'm gonna say, I imagine it was Windows XP Service Pack 3 back then. So a lot of things have changed in the meanwhile, and I doubt they will work on Windows 10, but that's not gonna stop me from trying. So let's start it off with this FIFA game. It has an install executable, and that got shut down instantly. Okay, next, Jagged Alliance 2 doesn't seem to have anything that can be run, so let's move with the next one. Street Wars Constructor has an install executable, and this one actually works. The resolution is all messed up, but after a bit of folder creation, the game actually installs. Unfortunately, the install screen wouldn't go away, so I ended up having to restart my PC in order to function, and alas, it did not work either. Now onto the Mortier.ace, which resisted being unpacked with 7-zip, so I thought about installing the WinZip present on the disk, and it somehow surprisingly worked, allowing me to unpack the game and then attempt to install it. Some sounds started running, but it quickly crashed into an error message. The Tiberian Sun folder also doesn't have anything that looks like it could be installed, but even if it did, I doubt it would have worked. Honestly, I wasn't really expecting any of these to work. However, what was super interesting about this exploration of my past pirating ways is that, first of all, the CD still works, which that one right there pretty much blew my mind. And second of all is that it reminded me of, well, not just reminded me, it basically brought to my attention this Mortar title, which after looking a little bit into it, it's an FPS in which you travel through time from World War II to the future and you kill Nazis in both time zones. I think I didn't spend that much time looking for it, but it's weird enough to pique my interest, even if, you know, as we well know, FPSs aren't really my thing. Then there's Jack the Lions 2, which has been on my list to do a video on for several years, but I have a lot of history with that title, so it will require a proper deep dive video of mine in order to do it justice. And that Constructor Street Wars game, I had also played that one around 20-ish years ago, and it kinda, now thinking about it, really fits my channel theme. It's this strategy management city builder sort of thing, but with a mob sort of theme on it. So yeah, that's on my list now as well. Anywho, make sure to let me know in the comments what you thought about this video idea format, and if you'd like to see more pirate game CD reviews in the future. After all, I still have quite a few discs in that stack. And there's also lots of other bits and pieces about pirate culture from like the 90s and the first half of the 2000s that I could impart. Also, like the video if you liked it, and consider visiting my Patreon page if you have coin to spend. Thank you very much for watching. I've been StefaNonsense. Have a great rest of your day, and hopefully you'll see me next time.